Good morning, freedom fighters. It is 9:34 a.m. Alaska time, May 15th, 2024. We are looking back 5 hours and 27 minutes ago over the Gulf of Mexico. Some very unusual lines here that is about to light up a storm. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 or so I can see there. These lines are very distinct, lighting off this weather here that is being formed out of nothing. This lightning was not there. No weather was there before that went off. Right there. The lighting of the storms. You can see it all turn on. See the vaporization of the atmosphere. Watch. I'm over here like an idiot using my hands, pointing it out like somebody sitting here with me. But right there. All these lines are connected. It's not vaporizing every inch of the sky. But that is what's causing this new storm in Florida. No weather. Lasers lighting the storm. Very distinct. Very distinct. Now I'm going to put on the scientists talking about the lasers lighting the storm. This is not my speculation. This is them telling us what they are doing. I like how the news lady corrects the scientists and says, but it's experimental, right? Oh, yes, it's experimental, but it works in laboratories. What they're using our atmosphere is a laboratory. They lit off all this weather with the lasers. Stand by. Let me let the scientist speak for himself. And space weather news, I used to follow you, buddy. You were just being paid off to keep us confused. They are controlling our weather, and you were being paid to make people confused. Standing by. Let me show you the scientists. Some very good information this guy has with this bill that they were I shared yesterday, but I want y'all to see this information of the science.
Never forget, this bill in 2001 referred to chemtrails as an exotic weapon. Again, this is HR, stands for House of Representatives, HR 2977, okay? And this is about a bill to stop and restrict weapons in space. Scroll down, you will soon see exotic weapon systems such as electronic, psychotronic, and information weapons. 2. Chemtrails. 3. High altitude, ultra low frequency weapons, which is actually basically 5G like weapons, EMF weapons, more like 3G, 2G. Boom, laser weapons.
Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning. Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong.
Okay, that was a scientist explaining what we were seeing. This is a video from me shrimping, and I want to show you the chemicals falling back to the earth and how they stream. It looks like hairs, but you cannot feel this on your face. It was 6 miles offshore, 6 nautical miles offshore of Florida, so we're probably more closer to 7. But these particles were as far as the light would reach in the upper atmosphere. And my helper was terrified when he could see this stuff in the light for the first time. He's like, "We are breathing this." And I'm like, "Exactly, buddy, we are breathing that." But it's not hairs, it's just how reflective this nanoparticle material that they spray is. And it's solid in there. I wanted y'all to see that. Toxic chemtrail fallout falling back in the Gulf of Mexico. But it's happening here at your houses too. You're not seeing this. Go outside on a spray day with a light. You'll see this yourself. This is why I'm scared, man. I'm breathing. We're all breathing this material, and I know what it's like to have stuff in your lungs. I hurt my lungs when I was young with fiberglass, sanding a boat. You cannot. No animal can stand this kind of nanoparticles. And our light's not showing half of what's really there. Maybe on a pause you can see it, but it is a solid debris of stuff. It's not moisture. You cannot feel anything in your face. And I have it 3 months later inshore on a fishing boat that I run, also my boat, my personal boat. Here I'm just a captain of a shrimp boat. I just want to see the stuff you're breathing in. Stand by. Here's some more waves in the sky I didn't notice earlier. I didn't let it load, so it might not load good. Definitely some kind of frequency waves here too as well, working the storm. But I just showed you how they lit the storm. No denying it. That's not something completely weird in this storm here. But let me show you the extreme chemtrail operation ongoing in the Pacific Ocean. Stand by. Right here, we're offshore of Washington State and Oregon. Really doesn't look like much, does it? The fog banks kind of makes it hard to see the trails. Put it on infrared. The trails really stand out how they're going across in a very unusual fashion. Heavy spraying offshore and over top of Oregon and Washington at this moment. This is a couple hours ago, but it's still going on. Very distinct chemtrails in the sky. This is live. Yeah, sad what they're getting away with. And you got these really high profile so-called weathermen and stuff that doesn't even speak about it. That's being paid ungodly amounts of money to lie to y'all. Commercial fishermen standing by. Y'all have a good day, a good evening, a good night, and a good morning. We are all on different timelines because the earth is not flat. Commercial fishermen out.